at 7 minutes. We've got, what, 10 hours more driving. It's going to be, what, 2 in the morning?
And 0 degrees Celsius.
We've done it again, didn't bring a jacket.
Yeah.
At least you've got
I did. No, I bought my Tassie jumper.
You've got a functioning sleeping bag this time too, which is quite a luxury.
I didn't check them.
Didn't check them.
No. It's definitely a sleeping bag. Whether or not there's been some sort of like rodent activity in there, I don't know. I don't really know. 12 degrees.
12 degrees, huh?
12 degrees, yeah. Can I go any higher than 4-wheel drive? Can you deploy 2 more wheels, please? Turn off is up here, I think, on the left.
Yep. Further.
Can you talk about the fear factor that's just kicked in?
What, going off in the bushes with you and John?
No. You just saw a panther. You reckon? What was it?
Yeah, cougar.
A cougar.
Do you want to check out that road that we saw around here last time? You know, the one that went off. Yeah, there's like a little fence post up there. Looks like it's been burnt down a bit. Or this could be someone's driveway.
No, there's no letterbox.
No letterbox, okay.
You just take me down this because you know the road.
No. It's a bit overgrown, isn't it?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Is this even a road?
Well, you don't really know until you go down, right?
Yeah. Use the place to turn around if we have to.
Alrighty, well, we probably should have gone to bed straight after dinner because we ended up having about a 12-hour day of exploring the next day, but we had a bit of a sense of adventure, and about 3 years ago at this exact site, we climbed a massive shaft about 70 metres further down the hill, and disappointingly, it only intercepted a drive that was only accessible to the north, and we could only traverse about 80 or 90 metres until we hit a cross-cut and what looked to be the bottom of a shaft. So what we decided to do at almost midnight in our infinite wisdom is to grab our 60-metre dynamic rope, latch it onto my Skylartech helmet, and send the brand new Osmo 4K video camera down an enormous hole in the ground. Now, this next bit of footage we're going to leave pretty much unedited, but you'll see that this is an absolute chasm of doom. Now, we've got a 60-metre rope, and as you're going to see, I don't think we even got close to bottoming out this enormous open stope, which originally was one of the northern main shafts for hauling.
We don't have enough rope for that.
Stopped. No, we do not have enough rope.
That's like 120 or something. Yeah.
Racing straight down.
Very good. Well, I guess we'll get to find out what's on the other side.
Morning everyone. BC's still dead to the world. I've been up since 6:30. I thought I'd come and take a look at that shaft and also see if we can work out how these old timers found the deposit. I'm going to assume it was down at the creek because that's where most prospectors start. In a lot of places it's originally alluvial workings before they hit the hard rock stuff, but we should be able to see at least some parallel veins up the top in the granite, I'm hoping, and I think we're going to have to climb that shaft. So I worked out that was originally a 60-metre rope, and we've had to sacrifice about 10 metres off it for various camping trips with hammocks and other sorts of rigging. So there's probably about 50 metres of that left. So if we can use that dynamic cord that we've got and maybe double it up a few times to get to the edge of the shaft. Oh, what's this? Interesting. Yeah. First bit of quartz banding just through there, through my fingers. And then there's been other little fractures in the granite that have been filled with the quartz as well. Look at that. Look at the pressure it must have been under. It's just squeezed into this tiniest of little cracks. How cool's that? They may have been different events. That crack compared to this crack through here. Quartz vein. This might be a little prospecting pit that we're in. Cool, all right, that's our first little clue. Yeah, what I was saying about the rigging, it's not going to be the most foolproof setup that we've ever done, but if we can double strand that dynamic rope to get right to the collar of that big stope, we may be able to get down there. I've got an 80-metre, really nice Donaghy's Cougar rope, and we guesstimate that it's about 60 to 70 metres deep. So that would get us pretty damn close. With how deep and how clean it is, I think we're going to have to give it a crack. I don't know if that last bit of granite was in situ, but I'm just trying to walk down the same angle on this ridge line to see if we can see any clues without getting ourselves lost before the adventure even starts. Oh, here we go. Nice big vein through here. Secondary or parallel little stringer vein through there. You can actually see it splits. So the fluid's actually gone from this little crack in the granite. The pressure's squeezed it through here into this second one. You can actually see a bit of tin in this quartz, that little black stuff, that would be the cassiterite. All right. So I think I'll walk back up onto the road and there's no trace of it here. Walk back up on the road and walk down the road and just have a look at that shaft during the day, because we'd had a few drinks when we were looking at it last night, and can't really remember what the collar was like. Probably not the safest thing we did last night too. Drinking bourbon and cokes around a potentially 70 or 80 metre open stope. I wouldn't recommend doing that. But today's going to be a good day. We've got some really cool, okay, look at that. There we go. Fault in the granite. And this nice pink quartz running all the way through it, really well defined. And then look how the fluid has altered the host either side of it. That's cool. Should be able to follow this up a little bit further under our feet. Nope. Yep. There you go. So that's the slip or the fault that would have shifted. And you can see a little bit of quartz down here, and I'd say this is actually close to where it starts, unless it bellies out again. You can see a little bit of quartz just through here. All right, enough nerding out on rocks. This has probably sent half of you to sleep. Let's get down and have a look at that big open stope / shaft. We are definitely at the most northern end of the working. Sorry, the light is trash. It's coming straight on the camera lens. I'll pan down. You can see this big slot that's been worked out. That would have all been infilled with quartz. That's long gone. Ultra dangerous because I can sort of see some shadows down there. Right down in that corner, looks a bit sus. And this is getting back down towards where we were late last night. They've gone deeper again on this one. And then this is the big one. Also got to look for my strap for my head, for my helmet from last night. That'd be cool if I could find that. Yeah, this is where we were last night. Holy shit, that goes down a long way. You definitely can't climb from that side. There's some enormous rocks in that. That's death. Easily makes this face here the best side of it. And it sort of is probably all an open stope, but there is filled in with dirt, probably from the rain running down and taking the soil with it, all the sediment down with it. So you wouldn't want to walk on that. That could open up underneath your feet. I also don't know if this is actually a pillar. Looks like it is. That side of it just along there, just to the right of my glove. Stopped. Yeah, so knocking these off, going down probably the line down there. You can see the old timber support down there. Definitely doable. You can see maybe if they've, that little point there might be from one of their old stoping platforms. One of their last ones they would have had in play before they broke through to the ground. Unfortunately, you can't see the beautiful band of quartz dipping down because all these sort of clays and sediment have sort of made a bit of a crust. Whoa, just had a bat dive down there. Oh, I can smell bats down there too. Holy smokes. All right, back up to the hut. I'll suss it out. It is doable. All right, just follow the line of workings up. Found this. Nice old brickwork. I wonder if this is just like a little fireplace or there was a little hut that went around it. Oh, could be some snakes in there. Interesting. Yeah, look, the bricks go all the way back. Pretty unusual. Too small to be a house. That's a neat little find. All right, we'll keep trekking. All right, still coming across test pits. Now these are pretty cool. Heaps better light here. These are at 90 degrees to the main tin load that slices down. We were just about 100 meters down from its most northern point. And that's where that big stope was. 3 years ago, we were right down the bottom and climbed one of the main shafts or the main stopes. And this might have been off the lease way back in the day. These pits look really old. And they might have been trenching at 90 degrees to see if the load continued up the mountain. Probably pretty desperate miners. And probably heard how much money and how much tin the miners down the hill were pulling out and milling. So yeah, I'll keep following this. Although, like I said, this is not on the load, this is adjacent to. There's definitely a shack site that's been burnt to the ground. See all the old corrugated iron, fair bit of it. See some of it's been cut, and you can see the old nail holes in them. There, up the top. So that probably would have been like a bit of a flushing for one of their walls or a roof. It's laying on the ground all over here. That's a big bit of iron, that is. Holy shit. Wow. Who'd use that as roofing? I wonder if that was like a hot plate for the top of their fire. Like a reused bit of mining machinery from way back in the day. I'm glad I went for this morning stroll. It's been pretty productive. Just when I thought we were done, or I should say the old timers were done, I thought I might have stumbled across an adit. Look at all this quartz on the ground here. They are still chasing the load, and it must have bellied out here. I've stoped that out in between my fingers. Have a look at the quartz on the ground here. Look at the tin in that. We were joking that because we forgot cutlery this trip, we might have to forge some forks. I don't know what alloys go into forks, but that would be the rock I'd choose if I had to do it. Holy Toledo. And it just gets better and better. Look at this bit. I thought that was basalt. That's almost like pure tin. Look at it. Incredible. You can see all the quartz is all fractured. Can't really see any sulfur. It's assuming this is pretty good stuff to mill. Look at this bit of quartz breccia. So that quartz has smashed itself up. That granite melt has encapsulated it, and then it's cooled to make like a quartz granite breccia with some iron down the bottom. Look at that, look at those crystals. So this must have cooled at a little bit of a lower temperature. Look at that. Oh, this is a highlight of the trip for me so far. It's a really nice pile of ore, about probably 50 metres from the cabin. The trench runs pretty much straight up to it.
Safety factor is on this one. Yeah, there's a lot of loose stuff there.
You can't clean all this off. You'd have to re-timber it.
Yeah, well, it's basically made of rubble.
Yeah.
I'd rate it fairly good. Depending on who's going down.
Look at that big boy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that divider in there, that's definitely not solid.
You'd want to get under that.
Yeah.
You'd want to swing under that and have that above your head. That's your rock deflector.
I don't think that's like, I think that's mud.
You know what I mean? Technically if you're underneath it.
I don't know, it seems to have, you know, like rocks falling out of it too.
Sorry we couldn't climb that last one, guys. Out of danger factor was about a 9 out of 10. Maybe a 10.
I thought we said it was relatively safe.
No. Last night when we set the helmet down, we did.
But that was safe. What we're doing then.
Highly intoxicated next to a 100 metre shaft. Like your experience, hey?
Yeah.
We don't condone that behaviour.
I think recreation is important sometimes though.
Yeah.
It's like a work-life balance.
Yeah.
And you know, we ultimately decided that, yeah, we made the right decision.
Yeah.
Alrighty YouTube, that is a wrap on that one, and we're just going to leave you with a couple of photos of some clips that we've got coming up of the remainder of this expedition that we did, which was completely unplanned. As you are all well aware, we're still partway through streaming our Deep South Winter 2025 expedition, and those are monthly episodes that will run all the way to Christmas. We sort of had a look at our schedules leading into Christmas and into the new calendar year and realised that we weren't able to get away for a good week of exploring until about next June. So BC and I both had a couple of days off before Father's Day, so we packed up the little jibney and just bolted down to our regional New South Wales. And what we found and the quality of the sites that we pretty much fluked was absolutely incredible, and that's the images that you're seeing here. We do apologise that the dodgy helmet cam was the only footage you got to see underground in that enormous stope, but that is extremely dangerous to climb. I'm not sure how long it takes a rock to reach its terminal velocity, but if you're 60 metres down a shaft and one hits you on the head, that becomes literally an impossible two-person or one-person recovery mission. That would be extremely dangerous and foolish to try and do. So we hope everyone enjoyed this episode. Bit of a weird one. Sorry if there was a bit too much of me nerding out on rocks. I really don't know what I'm looking at, but I do absolutely love trying to work out what the miners were chasing that led them to, in this case, a huge amount of success and a large amount of money in the form of tin and tungsten. So we hope you enjoyed tonight's episode, and we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks for another Deep South 2025 expedition episode.